I'm not trying to record, but bruh, I haven't been trying to for a few fucking I haven't been trying to for hold on, let me fix my camera a little bit. I don't know how long, bro, but dog, I'm not. Is this even the right tab? There we go. Okay. I even got no suppression on my shit. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah. Loud ass heater in the back. Alright, let's get to business.
What it do, flight crew? FTC. Flight team stand up!
I know you're not finna.
Are you
Oh
a
my
Roblox
God.
fanatic? Microsoft Rewards has a brand new way for you
Are we
to earn
serious?
digital gift cards.
I'm too high to remember. I think it's November. We got some educational lists, you know what I'm saying? I know Thanksgiving's coming up. Wake up, hide your iPads, iPhones, Apples, Androids, LimeWires, MP3 players. The administrators walk in.
Like, what is
But we
he
got an
talking
important subject today. There's no quiz required. No, none of that. But I asked you guys to pay attention because there's actually some interesting facts. How high could you jump on different planets? And we have it in 3D. Now,
I feel like Flag
do
gonna
you
say
guys
some
realize
shit. Fuck up, nigga. I feel like Flag gonna say some shit like he can jump higher than any of these niggas.
you can be more athletic on a different planet? Why do you
Yeah,
guys
see, that's what I'm see. Swear to God, I haven't watched this.
think I've been making a certain move, bro? That I've been getting property on Venus, bro. Because little
What?
people know that my real basketball skills is on a different planet, bro. It's just my vert, the gravity and everything is different, bro. So I'm able to like do things the way I want
This
to.
is why I
Bro.
said
I have
you
like
say
a
some
different
dumb shit.
boost. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna check it out. How high your vert can be on a different planet.
Feet firmly planted on the ground. That's why the average person can only jump about 1.5 feet straight up. But if we had to live on another planet, say Venus or Saturn, let's find out what difficulties we'd have to endure there. We'll try Mercury first, as it's closest to the sun. The gravity on this planet is less than half that on Earth, so you'll be able to jump about 4 feet high. That is, if you can stand the temperatures. On the sunny side, the heat reaches
Bro,
800.
I would literally be like 720 dunking if I was on Mercury, bro. Bro,
So you'll be able to jump about 4 feet high.
bro, I'm doing a 720 dunk windmill, bro.
You actually probably
Oh my
could.
gosh.
As if you can stand the temperatures.
What do you mean
On the
stand
sunny
the temperatures,
side,
though?
the heat reaches 800 degrees.
Ooh.
To be there is like standing neck deep in dark red lava on the slopes of a volcano. Oh boy. Night won't bring much respite either. Scorching air will quickly chill to minus 280 degrees.
Dang.
You'll also have to be patient, since one day on Mercury lasts 176 Earth days.
What? Bro, so you have 176 days in a day on Mercury, bro. There would be no excuse for you not to be on your grind.
From this inhospitable place to
Right, you know what I'm saying?
even less
Conditions to
welcoming
Venus!
You'd be able to see Earth from here if not for the whirling mass of clouds above. They create a monstrous greenhouse effect, as well as immense atmospheric pressure.
It's all good.
If
I
you
wanna
were
be
to
on
jump
it.
here, you'd make it just shy of 1.7 feet high.
You know,
because
so-
the mass and size of Earth and Venus are almost similar, with Venus being a little smaller.
Yeah.
Besides the constant temperature of a blazing furnace, rain here wouldn't bring relief. The clouds up there are made of sulfuric acid. Skipping our home planet, we go straight for its moon, Luna as it's otherwise called. Gravity here is less than a fifth of that on Earth, so if you jump, you'll rise almost 9 feet in the air
Bro, I'm doing a front flip, back flip dunk, bro.
and
What?
touch the ground again for several seconds.
No.
It's hard to believe this desolate piece of space rock makes tides on Earth happen. And if you stay on the moon long enough, as in a couple million years, you'll see how much further it's gone from our home planet. Next destination is Mars, the red
I actually
planet.
got it now.
Here, a vertical jump will take you about 4 feet in the air, if there was any air to speak of course. Mars has an atmosphere, but it's much thinner than on Earth. If you stay here until evening, you'll be able to marvel at a beautiful blue sunset. And you can probably see a mountain from here. That's Olympus Mons, the tallest mountain in the solar system.
Wow.
It's almost 3 times taller than Everest, and it's also a volcano, by the way.
Oh, man.
Leaping from here to Phobos, one of the 2
What?
moons of Mars. Plant your feet firmly and don't be tempted to jump. Gravity here is so weak that you won't be able to return. Phobos is really small compared to other moons in the solar
Who
system.
tested out the shit?
No
There's one
larger
to go to
than a
other
big
planets in the solar
asteroid.
system.
It's almost 100 times closer to its planet than our moon to Earth. Eventually, it's doomed to be pulled critically close to Mars and shattered. Scientists believe Mars can obtain its own rings then, much like Saturn. Now, we're going to a really weird object. It's called Ceres, and it's the
Ceres.
largest asteroid in the solar system. So large, in fact, it was later classified as a dwarf planet. It's almost exactly halfway between Mars and Jupiter, somewhere in the main asteroid belt. If you jump here, you'll be taken up almost 52 feet and then
Wow.
slowly fall back. Ceres is so massive
Bro. You literally could just, like, jump the whole football field.
that it accounts for a third of all mass in the asteroid belt. Fast forward to the next waypoint, Jupiter. Being a gas giant, this planet has no solid surface,
Has no
so
surface.
jumping here is irrelevant. But if you must, you could only hop about 6 inches high. Jupiter is more than 10 times larger than Earth and 300 times as massive, so its gravity is enormous.
Wait, these are real
There's also
people
a
on
perpetual
Jupiter?
storm on its surface that's been there for at least 4 centuries. Although it's getting smaller with time, at the moment, our whole planet could fit into that storm. Our next stop is Ganymede, the largest of Jupiter's moons. It's solid, so you can easily jump here and make it over 10 feet high.
Wow.
This moon is larger than Mercury, but its mass is significantly lower, which makes gravity rather weak. Ganymede is covered in thick ice, and deep beneath that is a liquid metal core. This core is why Ganymede is the only moon to have a pretty strong magnetic field. Next, we go to Saturn, the second gas giant of the solar system. It's only slightly smaller than Jupiter, able to fit 9.5 moons in it, but way less massive. If it had any hard surface to jump from, you'd be able to hop as high as 1.4 feet in the air, almost as high as on our planet. Saturn is most famous for its rings, which are particles of dust and ice left from impacts with different space objects.
That's
It
crazy
spins
how it
so
has rings
fast
like
around
that,
its
though.
axis that it has flattened itself almost into an oblong shape. It also has 62 moons, only 5 fewer than Jupiter.
Do you know that eventually one day people are literally going to be able to tour the outer space, bro? They're going to invent something like that where it's going to be so safe and all of that, and they're going to be able to tour outer space.
Literally, I didn't even think about
This is
that.
going to be crazy, bro.
People gonna be doing that shit? I knew that. I know
like
that.
2045.
Let's explore one of them right now.
I'd say by
Hopping
like
further,
2070?
and here we are on the largest moon
Probably
of Saturn,
3000.
Titan. Jumping here will take you just
I
shy
feel like
of
it's gonna
11
take
feet
a
high.
long ass time to
The
make.
atmosphere of this moon is most peculiar. It's heavy and mostly consists of nitrogen, making the surface
Niggas
appear
gonna be going
hazy.
in here like it's
It's also
Disneyland.
made almost entirely of ice, but there's rock underneath, and water is only thought to be deep below, near the
To your
core.
left, as you can see,
And
we have
one
Jupiter.
amazing thing on Titan's outside
crazy.
are cryovolcanoes. Volcanoes
about it
that
right
spew ice instead of lava.
Ah.
Next on our path is Uranus, another giant. Only
it's
this one
Uranus,
is made
not
of
Uranus.
ice.
What
In fact, it's
Did he say
mostly
that?
Uranus, and volcanoes that spew ice instead of lava.
Ah.
Next on our path is Uranus, another giant. Only
it's
this one
Uranus,
is made
not
of
Uranus.
ice.
What the
In fact, it's mostly similar to Jupiter and Saturn, but it has much more ice in its atmosphere and mantle. Jumping here will take you up about 1.7 feet.
Damn, no
Uranus is also the lowest minimum temperature of all planets in the system, at minus 377 degrees.
Damn.
It's colder than liquid nitrogen, so you'll freeze right where you stand. Cool. Really?
So how did
Our route
they get
continues
footage
with
here if you did
Neptune,
it?
the twin brother of Uranus.
Neptune.
It's also an ice
What? What?
system at minus 377
What?
degrees.
Damn.
It's colder than liquid nitrogen, so you'll freeze right where you stand. Cool. Really?
So how did
Our route
they get
continues
footage
with
here if you did it?
Neptune, the twin
What? Are you
Of
dumb?
Uranus.
Neptune.
It's also an ice giant, and although a bit smaller in size, it's much more massive. Because of this mass, the gravity here is also impressive. You'd only be able to jump about 1.3 feet. 1 year on Neptune takes almost 165 Earth years because it's 30 times further from the Sun than we are. In fact, this is the last proved planet of the solar system. But our hopping trip isn't finished yet. We're arriving to Triton, one of Neptune's moons.
Right.
Gravity here is not extremely low, so a single jump would take you a comfortable 19 feet up. Triton is the only moon that moves in a retrograde orbit, that is, against the movement of Neptune.
You know what I love is when I love when time moves differently on different planets. I really love that. That's
Around
I
its
fucking love
axis.
it.
It also has a unique surface feature called cantaloupe terrain for its similarity to a melon. Next is the dark and lonely Pluto, formerly the 9th planet, but now no more than a dwarf planet. Its gravity is somewhat lower than that of Triton's, and you could jump over 25 feet high here. Pluto is too small to be a fully fledged planet. It's smaller than many moons, including ours. Its atmosphere appears and disappears at times. When Pluto is closer to the Sun, the ice on its surface evaporates to become the atmosphere. But as soon as it travels further, the gas layer goes away. So hold your breath.
It's crazy. He's giving us lessons on what we're supposed to be doing. How far you can jump. How high you can jump, sorry. He's over here giving niggas lessons. Well, we ain't even come for all that.
And finally, our final stop. Finally, it's Eris. It's a dwarf
Eris.
planet that travels in and out of the Kuiper Belt, a second asteroid belt that's 20 times as wide as the one between Mars and Jupiter. Jumping on Eris's surface would take you up about 18 feet. This object was actually the reason why the term dwarf planet
Bro, niggas grew up learning it was really only 8 planets. Nigga, that's so, bro, what did he just say, Eris? What?
to call it the 10th planet of the solar system, but then reconsidered. And if they hadn't, who knows? Maybe we would have had even more planets afterwards. Oops, this just in. The universe really doesn't care what we deem planets or moons. It's too busy with important stuff.
Hey man, that's what capital as usual, man. Coming up a little bit on the road 3 million. What it do?
I'm subscribing.